right now. Holly Fisher joins us, political commentator, proud West Virginian. Holly, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am excellent. Man, you had a fantastic night in West Virginia, didn't you?
Oh, my gosh. Fantastic doesn't even describe it. There's not a word great enough to describe what just happened to West Virginia.
So you had, first of all, you have the first Republican female senator from West Virginia elected, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the youngest state legislator in the country now.
Yes, 18 years old.
Right? Boy, does that make you feel bad? I was a slacker at 18, so I look at that and I feel kind of bad
people have
about
been
myself.
criticizing her like she's only 18. Like, what does she know? Let me tell you, Sarah Blair, if people would listen to her, she can sit down and talk to you about business taxes, how to create jobs. Like, she is so smart and focused, and she just has a good head on her shoulders. And people are criticizing her because, like, she's not old enough. She hasn't went to college. Look where these older, educated people have us, in the toilet. So I don't see why they feel the need to criticize her. I mean, she's ready to work, and she's ready to do what's right for West Virginia.
I think it's, honestly, I think it's just so shallow. I think that they look for anything that they can to try to mock her. I mean, look, an 18-year-old who is smart and savvy enough to run for election and to win election.
Yeah, I mean, she
these
beat an
folks are following
incumbent
like
in the
Lucas
primary.
Neff on Twitter, right? And these folks are following the idiotic celebrities on Twitter out in Hollywood, who at age 28, having done nothing but appear in a TV show, having acted, having pretended to be somebody else and played dress up, they think that they can run the world.
Right.
So I say good for her. I feel like a slacker, but good for her.
Yeah.
And the state legislature actually switched in West Virginia too, right? Both the state Senate and the state House.
The House has been run by Democrats for 83 years, and we kind of knew we were going to take the House majority, but we didn't even have the Senate in our minds. Like, we were so under in the Senate that we didn't even think it was possible. Well, by the end of the night, the Senate was even a 17-17 split. And then the day after the election, one of our Democrat senators switched parties. So now Republicans have that majority in the House and in the Senate. Then all three of our congressional seats are Republican. We have Shelley Moore Capito as a Republican senator. All we have left is Joe Manchin, who is probably going to switch parties before 2016.
I wonder about that, too. I know he said yesterday that he wasn't going to switch, but we got a couple of years here before he has to make that decision final.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we won't see a change of heart from Uncle Joe before it comes time for re-election. So where did this come from, Holly? Clearly, this wasn't all anti-Obama sentiment. I think there must be something else going on there in West Virginia.
No. People in West Virginia are awake. I was one of the people going around this summer knocking on doors of Democrats, Republicans, undecided, and giving them information with facts and with truth without all these attack ads and the unions say this, the Koch brothers paid for this. Just showing people what these Republican candidates stand for that we had running, show them the truth about Nick Rahal and the things he has done that hurts West Virginia. And Democrats and Republicans they were just willing to listen. I was very successful in that effort, and I really didn't have a whole lot of backlash from even the liberal Democrats. And people are just so tired of West Virginia being unemployed, poor, the education's terrible. Everything here is just bad. And even the Democrats told me, like, I'm so sick of this, we need a change. And they looked past the D and the R on the ticket, and they voted for what they thought was right.
Is this now, I guess the next question is, in West Virginia, do you think, Holly, that some of these new elected officials, even at the state level, are they interested in listening to the people? Because I think that's a huge part of it. I think you're absolutely right. People are tired of being lectured to. They're tired of being talked down to. They're tired of being told that, hey, we've got a program. We, the smart people, have come up with a program that if you just follow this program, everything will work out great for you. I think people want to be listened to. I think people are smarter than a lot of politicians, certainly on the left, give them credit for. Are these newly elected officials in West Virginia going to listen to the people, you think?
You know what? I think so. And I worked closely with some of these newer guys that are going to be going into the legislature, and I talked to them, and my advice to them is have town hall meetings, just go to a coffee shop and let people know you're going to be there and let them come and talk to you and tell you what they want and just listen to the people who voted for you in your districts and just do the things you promised them that you were going to do. I'm tired of the backroom deals, the good old boys in West Virginia. Those days are over. And I'm really encouraging all these guys that just got elected, and women, there are a few women too, to just listen to the voters and do what they said they were going to do.
Absolutely. Talking with Holly Fisher about what happened in West Virginia. Now, there is beyond politics, Holly, there was a story from one of the West Virginia TV affiliates about the growing number of women in the state of West Virginia who are seeking concealed carry permits. Mm-hmm. I say this is beyond politics. I mean, it may be part and parcel of the same phenomena, but are you seeing this? Are you continuing to see this, I should say, there in West Virginia?
I have been talking to people, and I've been getting messages from, growing groups here, like grassroots deals, and just women who are interested in having groups that meet once a month or so to learn about gun safety, to get training for their concealed permits, because crime has risen over the last several years. I went to college in Huntington at Marshall University, and these days I would not walk down the street in Huntington, West Virginia. It's not a safe place. And there are parts of even Charleston that, people are getting shot sitting on their front porch. People are seeing that, and I used to be anti-gun. I didn't want guns in the house when I was younger. Someone's going to accidentally get shot. And I think the growing resources where you can go and get information, get education. Education is key for these things. And we don't need women walking around scared with a gun that they don't know how to use. But women mm-hmm. are more interested in getting educated on these things and not thinking they're going to have to hide under their bed and wait for the police to come help them, or walking down the street and not know what to do if someone tries to attack them. Women just have their eyes open. They're listening. And these groups we have around, we've got 1 million Moms Against Gun Control that kind of doing some things in West Virginia. And people are just listening, and they're interested in getting educated and just knowing that they need to take responsibility for their own safety as much as they can.
So, is West Virginia the East Coast Texas, Holly?
It's starting to turn into that, I think. We have been. It's weird. It seems like we voted for Mitt Romney. We voted for John McCain. But locally, we always vote for the Democrats and the unions and all these things. But now I really am seeing a big turnaround. And for the first time in a long time, I feel hopeful for the state and really for the country as well. Tuesday night was fabulous all across the country. But here in West Virginia, things are really changing here.
Yeah, no, I got to say they really are. And I love the state of West Virginia. We actually, we looked at West Virginia. Actually, we looked in Romney, West Virginia, Holly.
Oh, yeah.
At a couple of pieces of property when we decided we were going to flee D.C., the people of West Virginia are just fantastic. It's such a beautiful place. There are some amazing towns. If you love small towns, West Virginia has some great small towns. I think that it really could be the Texas of the East Coast. I think it has a lot going for it, and as you say, a lot of it's going to be up to what these newly elected officials do. I think that. Look, West Virginia for 50 years. This was one of the places that was singled out in the war on poverty. And Lyndon Johnson said, "We're gonna come in and we're gonna fix Appalachia. There aren't going to be poor people in Appalachia. There's not going to be poverty in Appalachia anymore." And 50 years of social programs and empty promises. I think rightfully you have a lot of people who are fed up and who are looking for something different. They don't want to be a social program. They want to be a fully vested human being with rights and responsibilities and opportunities that haven't come from listening to progressives for the last 50 years.
Right, and that's what these guys got in there, and now they can't blow it. And that's just like on the federal level too. The Republicans, they flipped the Senate back over, and now we just need to not blow it.
Yes, that sounds so easy when you put it that way, Holly.
I know.
Just don't blow
it's easier said than done, but if they would just listen to their constituents and to these people, I mean, they could get things done. They need to stop worrying about their career advancement so much and what's in it for them. If they would just listen to the people, it really wouldn't be that hard.
All right. Before we let you go, I've got to ask you, after seeing the election results on Tuesday night, have you thought about running for office at all, Holly?
You know, I don't know. My kids are so young. I've got 3 kids under the age of 5, and I think that would be, I don't really know if that's my thing. I mean, it's not something I've ruled out, but for right now and for the near future, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I understand. And you know, it's good to hear that said of I've got other priorities, including my kids.
Right.
You know, it's okay to have those real, you know, that's it's a sign that you've got maybe your priorities in the right place.
I'm trying.
All right. Well, listen, we still are going to see you and Heather Marchese down here at some point, but I appreciate, or maybe I'll just drive up to West Virginia because I missed that place. But one way or the other, we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Holly Fisher joined us here on NRA News, Cam and Company, talking about what's going on there in West Virginia.